Yes. Hello, good evening and good morning to friends online. Welcome to our Geeetech 3D Maker Salon, episode 31. And I'm Spring Joel from Geeetech. Today we will be having this live streaming with a special guest.
Hey there.
Here. Hello, Joe.
Hey there. Thank you for having me, and it's great to have East meet West. So
we're back to the normal friend here. So since this is a very special topic about maker movement, and as we all know that 3D printing plays a very important role in the maker movement in advancing technologies, and also the main key players like our scientists, and also technician guys, and also people, our end users who are the thinkers. So that's why we're going to talk about this topic with Joe. And I'd like to introduce a little bit about Joel Leonard, our special speaker today. Joe is actually one of the most passionate and also helpful guy that I know in the maker movement. He is called the so-called maker's maker. We can invite him to explain that a little bit later. And also himself has been dedicated in helping the maker community to connecting people together and help new generations to learn to be more engaged in the maker community. And also he has traveled I think thousands of miles.
Oh, yeah.
To many 20 places in US states.
25 maker fairs, over 100 maker spaces, over 30 states in the United States, have been to over 20 countries around the world, and have been trying to build the next generation of skilled technicians. We are, my generation, as you can tell, we're getting older. And if we don't have the pipeline of talent coming up to take on the more responsibility and be able to handle some of the new challenges, we're going to continue to have some serious difficulties that we could prevent. And so that's why I've been working passionately and feverishly trying to get more to better understand really essential, that word is new to the mass audience, but the essential jobs, being able to take on being a caretaker of equipment and resources, and really pioneering new technologies and approaches to avoid future disasters. So it's my honor to be here tonight and try to put more attention onto the maker movement so that we can continue to get more support and more funding and more activities, because what we do is so important. And 3D printing companies are literally, and Geeetech is pioneering the ways on trying to get more excited. What's great about 3D printers is they literally take concept to reality, and it helps the imagination of making something instantly, and being able to see it develop before your eyes is captivating, and is very powerful. And that's attracting new and existing engineers and technicians, and all kinds of folks. Just the general passersby are fascinated by this technology. And what's great is when they implement a 3D printer, there is a certain amount of care and maintenance that they have to do, and that's cultivating some discipline and some skill sets that they can be able to leverage in future opportunities and other machines and other equipment and other jobs. So this is really the gateway, as I call it, the gateway drug to manufacturing. If we get more exposed to what the potential of 3D printing is, then that can be transferred over to all kinds of essential equipment like boilers and furnaces and motors and all kinds of other critical equipment that we have. The 3D printer is that gateway tool to get kids excited and actually everybody. So again, it's an honor to be here. It's great to have a new friend in Shenzhen and have the attention here of all those who are chiming in tonight. If you put in a question in, I'll try to answer it. But yeah, we're trying to build the next generation of skilled technicians, and I've been quite active in doing that for over almost 20 years now.
Wow. Thank you, Joe, for helping me to introduce your background a little bit more.
No problem.
I'm trying to remember all that.
No problem, Spring. So yeah, I mean, I'm not sure exactly all that you want to discuss, but the neat thing about it is, as we're trying to build the next generation of skilled technicians, we're trying to grow the middle class. You know, literally, the middle class is the domain of tools, because the rich don't need to learn how to use the tools because they can hire the middle class. And the poor don't have access to the equipment because it's too expensive. And the training oftentimes is even more expensive than the equipment. So it's very important that we grow more access to more people to allow them to work on this equipment so that they can cultivate a future career options, and perhaps they might invent something and be able to grow, join in the rich and hire more other people and continue that cycle. So tonight, I'm hoping that those who are watching will get so excited that they'll go out and tell other people how important it is to go out and grow makers and become a maker and not just a consumer. You know, they say that we get pummeled because so many commercials, so many advertisements, so many things are out there pushing messages for us to buy something that it's easy to be a consumer. And we don't get that many messages telling us to produce and telling us to make. So most people just do what's easy, and they buy stuff, even though they might not necessarily have the money. but and they get in deep debt. So it's important that they learn how to make things so that they can go out and earn the income to be able to buy what they need and maybe get what they want in addition to. But so the maker movement is essential to growing our economies by passing on the wealth of the culture and community of the past and growing new enrichments and prosperity of the future. So we've got to, it's a serious endeavor being a maker. A lot of people think that if you work on a 3D printer, that all you do is you make various knickknacks or various little things. And like this is I made this. I really like this. This is kind of a cool little thing. It's a pie, the symbol for pie. And this is a neat thing, although it's not necessarily functional. This is a wrench. And, you know, for a light item, I could actually probably work on this. But it's amazing to me that you can literally produce this with a 3D printer as it's being made. All the parts are already pre-assembled. I just think this is fascinating. But what's really great, and I want to turn over to the PowerPoint that we created for tonight, is the to let people know that, you know, we can grow. Let's see. How do I get back to the?
You want to? You can.
Let's see.
You can share your screen.
Okay,
Yes.
share screen.
Okay, we have many friends here is joining us on live. I'd like to say hi to our friends that are joining us here.
Who we got? We got a lot of people.
We got Nomi saying hi and Carl and a few friends. Name is not shown here. You can click the link that I shared with you.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, fantastic. As we're getting started here, I want to play a song. Kind of a little bit about my background is I literally went to a conference in 2002, and there were 600.
Carl said that he has 7 and 9 years old is learning as well.
Fantastic. Start them young. Start them young. It's very important. So, yeah, I mean, we've got to build the next generation of skilled technicians. And if we don't, they're not going to be ready when we need them. And we're going to suffer as a result. So this is not a funny topic. This is a serious issue. And so I want to play the maintenance crisis song to get more in tune to what these issues are. Okay.
There's no sound, no voice here.
Oh, there's no sound.
No sound. And maybe can let me try to share from my side.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm not sure what happened there. We can go to, if they want to see that, they can go to the maintenance crisis song and Google it on YouTube and see that in full. But that song really changed my life. Believe it or not, the story behind the song is I was at an engineering conference in 2002, and there were 600 attendees, and the vast majority worked for some major corporations in engineering, maintenance, and facilities management. And the organization's leader asked everybody how many people are going to retire in the next 10 years. Over 90% of the audience raised their hand. And so that was like 550 some folks. We couldn't believe the amount of people that were literally on the verge of walking out the door. There you go. You're getting it. So can we hear it?
Can you hear?
I can't hear it. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear.
I'm not sure why it's not projecting.
Let me try to see.
It's got to be a settings issue. Again, if people want to see that, it's the maintenance crisis song. It's gotten, it's been re-recorded in 15 different genres. It's been played at the White House. It's been played at the U.S. Congress. It's been played, believe it or not, in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's been played in engineering conferences all over the world. And the whole gist of the song is that we have to build the next generation of skilled technicians.
Yeah, I shared in our comments here. So if anyone is interested in the song, you can just click the link there.
Yeah, and you can share it again. If you, we can also, if you send me a link, I can send you other versions. We have a gospel version, hip hop version, opera version. We've got all kinds of musical genres and blues and all kinds of different ways of getting that same message out there. So it's very important that, again, the next generation realizes that being a singer and a dancer isn't necessarily going to get them paid. And so we've got to get them developing critical skills like maintenance. And again, working on a 3D printer, you're learning maintenance. You're learning how to troubleshoot. You're learning how to problem solve. You're learning how to replace parts. You're learning how to take care of the equipment. You're learning how to anticipate failures and trying to fix them. So there's no easy way of getting rich while our national treasures are going down in a ditch. How safe does it make you feel? How safe does it make you feel? supply fans and coolant towers. Working in maintenance is an honorable field. Gone are the days of Bubba, Skeeter, and Neil. Today you use computers and sophisticated tools, but there's nobody entering our technical schools. How safe does it make you feel?
You
How
are a
safe
great singer, Joe.
feel?
Thank you for singing the song. By the way, you write this song as well, right?
Yeah, I wrote the lyrics, yes. High pressure, low pressure, springing a leak. Well, I can tell you it's a big disgrace. Industry knows what we've got to do. Find and train a workforce who will fix it for you. How safe does it make you feel? How safe does it make you feel? How safe does it make you feel? What if we train them and they leave? What if you don't and they stay? How safe does it make you feel?
Feel.
So that song it really got pretty famous. And so if you like me to switch over to the PowerPoint that we created for tonight, I can do that. You can let me in.
Yes, please.
And that might answer some of the questions that you had thought of.
Yes.
And we are getting more people signing in. I can't see them, so.
Yes, we have currently 14 people.
Oh, wow. Thank you, everybody. Again, pipe in your questions if you want. Type them in, and we'll try to answer anything you want. But again, I hope you all agree that, and again, with COVID and all the other issues that we're dealing with, really, this has been a great showcase of the maker movement because we stepped up. We went from making Yoda heads and all these little knickknacks that people have on their desk to now making items that we really need, like opening up doors and face shields and all kinds of things. Millions of items have been made. Hey, you might want to take off your screen there so I can get in and see the PowerPoint screen.
Yes.
There you go. All right, so let me go to screen, go to application. I'm getting used to this. Chrome tab.
Oh, we have some. While you are sharing, I will read some of the comments from friends.
Yeah.
We have Rover. Hello, Rover. And
can you do a demo of a 3D printer? Well, we would love to do that. And in fact, Venitra, you live an hour from here. Come March, you come up here in Asheboro, North Carolina, and you will actually see me teach you how to use a 3D printer, and I'll make something for you. So we'll make you.
I think this is a request for Geeetech side.
Venitra lives in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, he's your friend?
Yeah, she's in front. Oh. She's actually my brother's sister. She was his next door neighbor. She called him her brother. So anyway, she's my brother's sister now. She joined it tonight, and again, we can't do a physical demo tonight, but we can do one. And again, I can send you links to videos of various 3D printers on YouTube. But all right, so.
Okay.
But yeah, well, thank you, Venitra, for joining us tonight. And
Rover suggests us to have the firmware updates for the older printers. I think we have it in our website. Rover, can you check in? So I think we have all the firmware versions in our website. You will need to check what version your printer have, and also you can find the version in our website. So if you have any problem, you can reach me out in Facebook. Okay, so also you may also contact us on our Facebook page. We will get back to you as well. And what else?
So can you see
30
this?
is, yeah. Yes, we can add the screen.
Okay.
Yes, now it's showing.
So this is, believe it or not, I'm actually at a maker fair, and there's a whole bunch of kids, and I'm literally showing them the enable hand that was created to as a prosthetic hand to help somebody that doesn't have a hand to actually have a 3D printed hand. And the cost of that is, you know, less than $100. And the Enable Alliance, led by Maria Esquela, is leading that. And the Enable groups have over 170 chapters around the world, and there's supposed to be some other people within that. They're supposed to be tuning in tonight. But so I wanted to make sure they get to see that. And again, 3D printing is more than just making little toys. It actually is changing people's lives. It's literally saving people and giving them access. And again, with 2020 and the pandemic, we literally made the difference. Before governments and industry could pivot, makers got out there and 3D printed face shields, 3D printed masks, or a made mask, helped produce all kinds of items for PPE, and even made intubation boxes and all kinds of things. And 3D printing was critical in that process. And again, we've had makers in Ireland, Iceland, all over the country. Over 48 million units were made.
So
200.
this is about the maker movement, right? You have.
Absolutely. The makers pivoted this year. The makers no longer just made Yoda heads. They literally got together and responded. And most of them didn't even want to get paid. They just wanted to give it to first responders and other groups that needed it. And when the Navajo Nation, when it became aware that they were not getting the supplies that they needed, the makers stepped up and literally supplied all the hospitals, and all the medical and groups in the Navajo Nation were made by volunteers, were made by makers. So it's amazing the impact that was made last year by the maker community. So the maker movement again is more than just coming up with an interesting toy or an interesting avocation, but actually going after solving disasters and responding to issues. And again, we aren't the help. I mean, we don't wait for the help. We are the help. And
We
so
have a William thing is saying he also printed 10,000 face shields.
yeah. If others pitched in for the maker movement, please take credit. And in fact,
Yes.
Spring, you may want to give whoever did the most, give them a spool of filament if you want. But yeah, that would be a great way to give those who produced and stepped up during 2020 and keeping on doing it.
Thank you for reminding. Yes, in the end, we will have 3 rolls of filament to give away in the end of this live streaming.
And what I'm loving about the maker movement, Spring, is the fact that kids, little girls, little boys, are beginning to see and get excited about making things. And they're realizing again that with the pandemic, you either clean it or you're going to be running at risk. So we all need to be maker strong and work together. What's kind of neat is on the left and on the right is a custom made mask. That's my mask on the left there. I have a custom made wolf mask, and that's a fox mask on the right. And that was innovative because the people don't like having these masks up against their face. And there was a fashion designer up in New York City that made this, and it's very comfortable. It's very easy to talk through, and people can can order those and get those. The other thing in the middle is those cute little babies. Those little astronaut face shields that they have there, custom made for babies, was made by accident. What's interesting is that was made by Makers Asylum and India, and somebody must have hit the machine, because the laser cutter recalibrated, and they ended up having a whole bunch of 70% size face shields. And somebody made a joke. They said, "Well, I guess we can make baby shields." Well, then they looked into it and they were like, "Wow, there's a market for that." And they put it up on Amazon, and that's one of the most popular items on Amazon in India, is to get baby face shields. And when families travel, they can put their kid in that. Now, a mask is a little difficult and uncomfortable for a kid, but they like wearing these little face shields. They don't even know they're there. So the society that scorns excellence in plumbing, because plumbing is a humble activity, and tolerates shoddiness in philosophy, because philosophy is an exalted activity, will have neither good plumbing nor good philosophy, because neither their pipes nor their theories will hold water. So it's very important that we teach not just the fine arts. We got to teach the manual arts and get more people working with tools. And again, take our ideas and make them become reality. You might fail, but keep on striving to do better. And again, make the world a better place. That's what makers are. And that's why the maker movement is so critical.
Yes.
And what's interesting, I'm featuring this lady here in New Zealand. When I was down in New Zealand, there was a lady there that made her husband made a wood, actually a spool out of plywood. He custom made this, and she's actually spooling a blend of merino wool from sheep and possums. They literally take possum wool, and they found out it's stronger. It is more water resistant, and it's very warm. And so she uses that to make that. And those sweaters she sells for $200, and that hat she sold me for $70, and it was worth it. And I got a pair of gloves that were super warm, and I got them wet, and they were still warm. And so the maker movement's done so much. There's a thing called the Magic Wheelchair Project. And for people that are disabled, Halloween is a very difficult time, because all these kids that are seeing all their friends out having fun, they don't really get to participate. And so the Magic Wheelchair Project went to the makerspaces, and this is a group called the Maker Depot Academy in New Jersey, and they made a car for this young man that has a special debilitative disease, and he wanted to have his own car. So on Halloween, he was able to go out, and he went from having a handicap to being a superhero. So again, and a lot of those parts were 3D printed. And this is, again, you can bring back, through the maker movement, bring back legacy processes and critical things. There's a community in North Carolina that moved all the jobs to China. No offense. We're not happy about that. But they actually built new chairs in that community, and got that's their heritage. For 150 years, they made chairs there. So I helped them get connected and get younger kids excited. That kid in the upper left-hand corner, he can't get that smile from going to Walmart and buying something. That smile came from working on that chair, and he helped put that together and helped sand it, and he was carrying it home, and he looked like an ant carrying a potato chip. He was just darling when he was carrying that. And what was neat about that particular event, that was held when we had a very divisive activity happen in the United States. That was the week after Charlottesville, where people of different opinions were actually running down to other people in their cars. And so we proved to them that you don't have to look like each other. You don't have to have the same political backgrounds, but you can work together. And we have several employers in that crowd who actually interviewed and hired some of the attendees of that event. So the maker movement is critical at building the economy. And so to get more kids excited about working with tools, I invented a 50-pound hammer. And here it is. I have it right here beside me. And
let me give you a big screen.
Okay.
To show the hammer.
Well, I'll do that after we're done. Let me go through these slides. But here's the here's a PowerPoint, but or the Thorminator, and so anyway, it got a lot of people excited. Kids now put down their cell phones and picked up a 50-pound hammer. And you know, you got the basic hammer as a necessity. The father of invention says, "Heck, I'll show you." And the crazy uncle lights it on fire and blows it up. And then you got a whole nother other invention. So we actually added 1,000 LEDs to this. And so you can see it's a pretty amazing thing. And I'll when we get bigger screen, I'll show it again. But if people got really excited about picking up this hammer, this is at the World Maker Fair in New York City. And you can see it. I mean, it's amazing how kids just love it. And they say they can't pick up a hammer. Well, they picked up a 50-pound hammer.
That's really fancy.
And we call it the Thorminator because it represents the past and the future. So Thor being the past and Terminator being the future. And that's my car. And I don't know if you've heard of Rosie the Riveter, but they had a Rosie the Riveter convention and at the Detroit Maker Fair, and they all love playing with it. So also again, makerspaces. When the food security became an issue, we makerspaces were teaching people how to do aquaponics, how to do raised beds, how to do all kinds of things. And now this is what I'm really excited about. I am in the process. Come March, I will launch a kind of like the one on the right-hand corner. I will have a 15-foot trailer that's going to have a CNC, a laser cutter, a router, and also some 3D printers. And I'd like to get, by the way, I want to place an order with you, Spring. I want to get at least 10 3D pins from you. So after we're done, I want to place an order. So anyway, we're going to be teaching people. We're going to go to parks because everybody's been shut down and haven't been able to go to school and hadn't been able to do it safely. We're going to be doing this in a park, and we're going to do it with about 10, 15-foot differences and have about 20-some folks. And they will be working on various equipment and learning how to make their own desk. They will make their own laptop desk. And so, and other projects that we're going to work and teach them how to do it. And then we're also going to have employers like we did with the, chair. We're going to have employers in the audience, and they get to see them work and interview them and possibly hire them. So this year, I did a pretty
this is another project, yes.
Yeah, and if you go to berry2020.org, you can see more details. But I set up a project because 2020 was such a terrible year, and we needed to pass on lessons learned to the future. We encourage people to put stuff in jars. And again, this is mine here. I made this 3D printed. A friend of mine helped me. And this is a 3D printed, this is the pyramid on the back of the dollar bill. And inside of it, I put items in there. And in the future, we'll be able to look in there and see the things that messages and information from 2020. And I'm working now, believe it or not, the International Time Capsule Project has asked me to be an advisor, and the International Time Capsule Society, we're working together to help build more time capsules around the world. We've had, if you go to bury2020.org, you'll see pictures from Philippines, from Afghanistan, from Nepal, from all over the world contributed to make time capsules. And so down in the future, the next generation will be able to learn some of the lessons learned from this past year, which has been so difficult for so many. So there's my contact information. If anybody wants to reach out to me, feel free to. It's been an honor to be here. I want to show you the Thorminator. Let me see here.
Okay, so I will give you a solar layout.
And if you have some questions, feel free to do that. But yeah, this is the Thorminator.
Joe, can you show us how do you use this hammer?
Well, first of all, you got to be strong. So this is not.
What's the weight? What's the weight?
It weighs. I'm not sure what it is in kilos, but it weighs 50 pounds.
50 pounds. Oh.
It's quite heavy, and so you have to pick it up, and it's got lights in the back. It's got lights on the top. It got lights here on the side and also on the bottom. So it's got over 1,000 LED lights on it, and
cool hammer.
Yeah, it's amazing. And again, if this doesn't get somebody excited, I mean, the problem is kids don't work with tools. You ask a kid to get a screwdriver, get a Phillips head screwdriver, they think it's Mr. Phillips. They don't realize that they haven't worked with tools. All they know how to do is work with a cell phone. So we've got to get more to play with tools. So I made a tool that was interesting. And again, over 15,000 people that picked up this 50-pound hammer.
Wow. That's really cool.
It's got over 1,000 LEDs on it. So.
Who designed this?
Well, I designed the metal part. I took scrap parts from a machine shop. Had a friend of mine weld it. The Maker Depot Academy helped put on the original lights. We've had other groups help put on additional lights. There's actually a makerspace in Detroit. When I broke it, I actually almost snapped it in half of slamming it down too hard. And they re-welded it for me. So it's been a collective group effort of various groups that have helped me put this together. So it's not an easy thing, but it's actually not that hard if you kind of know what you're doing. But again, it's just an inspiration for others to think about other stuff that they could do and make things. So, and again, this is, again, if you ever seen a US dollar, this is the pyramid on the back, and I put a bunch of lights inside of it, and this is the all-seeing eye on the back of the dollar. So, again, this is just an example of some of the things you can make. Again, the maker movement helps you produce what you need, also what you don't need but could need, and just inspire people to innovate and come up with new things. So it's very important that we support the maker movement. We have to get more communities to invest in it. And I challenge everybody on this call and others in the future to watch this. Go out to your schools, go out to your community, and reach out to some kid that hasn't got a clue and teach them how to do something. We've got to do that. And if anybody commits to doing that, Spring has empowered me to give you a spool of filament. So whoever first one that responds to this request and puts it up there that you're willing to do that, go out and help grow more makers, like I am. My life's mission is to build the next generation of skilled technicians, and that's why they call me the maker's maker. Anybody out there, thank you. Anybody out
Great
there
mission.
that's willing to go out and teach others, tell us, and we will give you a spool of filament.
Yeah, I like your concept of helping the younger generation to be a maker instead of just being a consumer. And
Yeah, I mean, again,
also,
they watch so many TV shows, they see so many things, and they're being sold every day to go do this, go buy that, and they aren't being instructed on or taught how to make something. And
yes,
what are we going to be? A world of consumers? Well, if you have a world of consumers, who's going to make it? So you got to
yeah,
have some people make the stuff, and the ones who are making it are the ones who are making money. So not just spending money. So it's very important that we build the next generation of skilled technicians, and I'm delighted again to be here tonight, and it's such an honor. Again, because of COVID, it's kind of weird. This is one of the COVID benefits. I never would have got to meet somebody from
Oh,
Serbia.
Joe, I have one question for you. Like you have shared quite a few projects that you have done in your PPT. How has the COVID affected your activities recently? Can you
Well,
share your experience?
yeah, I mean, spring. I mean, I've been my normal that car that we showed. Normally, I'm in that, and I'm going all over the country. Yes, sir, Henry. If you tell us you want to help make some and give us your address, we will get you. Oh, wonderful, Henry. All right, Henry Lynn. We need to get him a spool of. Get in touch with Spring after this, and she'll get you a spool of film. Thank you, Henry. But anyway, yeah, I mean, this has been a life changing. I mean, normally I've spent 120,000 miles over the last 2 years, uh, and wonderful, William. Again, I'm not sure how much Spring has extra, but yeah, we need more makers out there and more makers. And so please help us make more makers. And again, so normally I'm out coaching maker spaces. They're really good at making stuff, but they aren't necessarily good at working with their community. They aren't necessarily good going to the mayor. They aren't necessarily good going and getting funding that they need. So I've been coaching them. And what was interesting was because of COVID and I being restricted, not able to go, Spring, I got on the phone, and every week from April until November, I was on the phone every Wednesday doing an hour and a half segment and teaching people maker spaces from all over the world. Were calling in, and we were brainstorming ways on how to still make an impact, how they could help with PPE, how they could keep their doors open, how they could maintain their lease, how to get their organization growing even though in a pandemic, how to sustain and grow their activities. So that's what, yeah, the COVID's changed my life. And again, I wouldn't know you if things were normal. So,
Thanks for reaching out, and I was fascinated by your Barry the 2020 project in the first place, and I think that's very interesting to put our what we think important in the 2020 to bury it and also to pass it on to the future generation.
well, what was kind of neat is the feedback we got from the participants of that was really humbling and just amazing. We had a young man out of Texas who really wasn't doing much, and his teacher challenged him to make a box, and he learned how to design it on a CAD program, and then he learned how to 3D print it, and then he learned how to laser cut it, and he made, since he was from Texas, he made an iris like a camera lens and was able to open it up to where it looked like a star in the middle of that box. It was a beautiful piece of work. And now that young man has a sense of confidence that he can make anything he wants to make. we just made a maker. And that kid's life and his future is totally changed. So again, that made the whole project worthwhile. By the way, while he was demonstrating that, there was a guy that was on the Berry 2020 end of the year call from NASA. This kid now has an opportunity to be an intern at NASA.
Wow, that's really inspirational.
So it's incredible what's going on out there. And yeah, and we had several parents tell us that the kids who have been depressed, have been frustrated, their whole worlds have changed. So they, by putting it into a bottle and putting the 2020 and bearing it, they were able to deal and have some fun at 2020's expense. And so it was kind of a therapeutic exercise. So
Okay.
collectively, we can lift each other up. We can do more together than we can separate. And I think even though we're apart, we're actually together. And again, the ability of clicking on a button. I mean, who's my neighbor? I can access anybody in the world now just by clicking on a button. And I got Shenzhen right in front of me. And I'm in North Carolina. You can tell my northern accent. And we can all work and collaborate together. We don't have to be as divisive and destructive as we've seen on the news. We can be positive and can be constructive, and it's very important that we reach out together and come up with projects. And again, just like Henry and Mr. Finn are doing, is to go out and teach others how to make stuff, how to build things, get them excited about doing it.
Yeah, one thing I want to mention is that like William, he is it's like a maker in the maker community. He's trying to a lot of manufacturers, and like me, I work. Sometimes I need help, and he always reach out to help. So I think that's also a type of helping the community and also making it better.
Lifting up. That's so important.
Yes, I think that's great inspiration. Thank you, Joe, and everyone that is trying to giving a hand in the community.
Well, thank you. And as I said, my generation's walking out the door. Who's going to step up? Who's going to reach out and learn new skills, get new responsibilities, and do more? And take on the activities that we need you to, not necessarily what you want to do. And then as you learn to do it, you might get a better appreciation and actually love doing it. I love traveling. I love helping other places. I love learning from others. And it's great to have reverse mentors, those that are younger, that are teaching me. And it's an honor. And to know, again, I've just got a lot of respect for Spring. I can communicate to her just as easily as anybody else. And there's Joel Rash, my brother Joel. He's actually helped me make the Thorminator decals on my car. And yes, the C track. We back?
Yes.
Absolutely, William. I totally agree. We've got to get everybody working with tools, not just their cell phones. So
absolutely.
Down now. What other questions y'all have tonight? What other things can we do? What do you want to achieve this year? As I said, my goal right now is to build mobile maker spaces.
Yes. Can you share? Can you share us like for the mobile maker place? Like, how do you think like this can connect with the 3D printing industry, and how do people in 3D printing industry can contribute their or help with this project?
Well, again, a 3D printer is a critical tool. As I said, it's the gateway drug to manufacturing. If we get on these mobile maker spaces, it's real easy to put those on there, put them in ways that they're ruggedized and that they're safe when they travel. But it's critical to have a whole bunch of those. And the other thing I'm planning on doing is when the kids are, see, I'm going to have 15 to 20 folks working on about 5 different workstations. And when they're not on those machines, I want them doing something. So I'm going to have tables set aside. And that's why I want you to get oh, we got somebody in Asheville, North Carolina. Yeah, I definitely want to be at the Asheville Maker Fair and would love to go out there, Krista. So call me and let me know when it is, and I'll be there in a heartbeat. And yeah, we definitely got to get more people to realize that being angry because of politics there's more to us than being angry. We got to work together and lift each other up because we're all interdependent on everybody else. We can't
Yes.
be independent. And so we have to be, our success depends on everybody else's success. But yes, and Joel Ash, yeah, well, I want you to come over, man. We'll put you in the mobile maker space and get you to work. Again, his name's Joel too. And I'm delighted that quite a few people from the United States timed in tonight. And I hope a lot of people from other countries joined in. But yeah, we've got
the time now is like the most golden time in US. But in the European, it's like midnight already. People is probably still sleeping.
Yeah, so what time is it in China right now?
Almost 9 o'clock. No, in 8 minutes.
Oh, okay. So yeah, well, again, we can do this again. I'd love to continue dialogue. Again, when we get these mobile maker spaces, I want you to take an order from me for 10. Oh, great, William, reach out to me. We'd love to get more 3D printers out to the schools, and I'd love to get some more 3D printers in these mobile maker spaces. But I want to buy 10 3D pens because those 3D pens, you can do instant results. The 3D printers takes a while to get any type of link. This took 20 hours to produce. So it's nice and it's wonderful, but the kids are going to need something that's going to give them immediate feedback. So I want to buy 10 3D pens from you tonight, Spring. And again, I'd love to help other places, but yeah, this has been a lot of fun tonight. I would love to see other people join you when you're ready. I've got a lot of other makers from around that I know would like to. Got somebody from Quebec, Canada. I can't wait to come up there. I don't think you'll let me in right now. Oh, we got somebody from Las Vegas. Wow. We got people from all over. Yeah, please type in your location. This is great to see this, everybody. And again, if you got any more questions, got Michigan here. Wow, Williams in Michigan. So anybody else that would like to have a mobile maker space, my goal is to get 20 of these out over the next couple of years. And if you'd like me to come in, I'm looking at doing technology. You heard it here first. We're going to do technology tailgate parties. If you put food and technology together, I'm going to have 3D printed pancakes. I'm going to have drones dropping popcorn out of the sky into people's mouths. I'm going to have robots serving beer. I'm going to have 3D printed items being made for people to eat their. We got somebody out of Saudi. Wonderful. And we're going to have all kinds of celebrations in these mobile maker spaces so that the general communities get to see this. And we're going to be reaching out to rural. See, the sad part is the maker movement hadn't really affected much in the rural and underserved populations yet. So that's a huge opportunity. And so I think the mobile maker space will enable folks to get out. And I'm planning on, again, making it. It's costing me $60,000 to equip this trailer. And we're getting at least out at $3,000 a month, and it's going to be $500 a day for me to go out and visit people. So I think we've got the numbers down enough or low enough that it can make it functional and sustainable. But we're going to need sponsors. We're going to need support. But again, this is something that we got to do, because if we're going to reach out to groups that already know it, it's not needed. We got to go to places that they don't know about it and get them up to speed on it. So thank you, Spring.
Like, Joe, I have last two questions prepared. One question is how can 3D printing help overcome poverty, in your opinion?
Well,
overcome poverty.
Well, again, it's 3D printing helped save people's lives this year. The people that didn't have access to PPE had face shields. They were literally alive because they had access to resources that were made by 3D printers. And again, this thing right here helps save people's lives. This helps protect them from touching germs on various door handles and other things. And the other thing is, those kids who have learned how to use this and have gotten excited about it and learning how to do, and then went on to learn other things, they're now, again, they've got a deeper appreciation and a deeper understanding, and they're now pursuing other tools and other machines and other things. It's a great entry point to get people, because when you see something go from concept to reality, it's powerful. I mean, this is literally, the 3D printer is the Star Trek replicator. I mean, we're seeing something that was on TV, that was on a sci-fi show. It's reality. And so a 3D printer is something that is very special item. It helps with creativity and stimulate the mind. Absolutely, non-fam. You're absolutely right. So it helps empower folks to see things that you can't just you dream about it. You can actually do it. So it empowers and cultivates and builds that sense of confidence. And that's why that kid in Texas, they tell me he was a problem child, and now he's the star. And again, NASA's trying to hire him. So I don't know what his financial status was, but I know now it's a lot better than what it was. So
Krista says hammers don't cure poverty any better than a 3D printer can. But knowing how to use it,
that's right. It can lead to prosperity. It doesn't necessarily do it by itself, but it empowers the user to build the confidence and capability to do more. And that's the whole point of it. The 3D printer doesn't make you rich, but it makes you empowered. And then you use that empowerment in the right ways, you can become rich.
Empower people to develop their ability to
and do more than just
unleash
their potential.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got to do that. I mean, there's some. I don't know about you, and I'm not trying to get into a commentary here, but American Idol was one of the worst shows ever in the history of the United States, because it created an environment where people thought that there was a career path. If you learn how to sing, you can go out and be a millionaire, and that's just not a reality. There's a lot of pipelines and a lot of jobs that are begging for people if they cultivate the skill sets, and they can become passionate about working on these tools and these skill sets as much as they could by singing. And again, when you can't perform from an audience, singing and dancing isn't necessarily essential. So it's important that we cultivate all kinds of jobs and all kinds of skills to make this world go along better. And it's not an us versus them society. It's what they're doing in China helps us here, and vice versa. We can't look at each other as adversaries. When others succeed, we succeed as well.
Okay, so I just Thank you, Joe, very much. I got one last question. Before that, I would like to ask a friend here if you like our live streaming and would like to also check out some of 3D printing or interested in doing your own part in joining like Joe to be a influencer in the maker community, you can I will share Joe's Facebook and also our Geeetech official Facebook account here. So welcome you to follow us and also making.
Yeah, and if you could give away those 3 spools to those most active participants in our dialogue tonight, that would be great.
Yes, we are doing it soon.
All right.
Okay, the last question is, do you have any suggestions to like companies like Geeetech? I mean the manufacturers that making better community.
Yeah, that's the thing about it is what's really sad. The maker movement's been going on for a while, but still there's a lot of major engineers, major engineering schools, major manufacturers that still don't even know what the maker movement is. And so it's very important that, and that's why I can't wait for this mobile maker space, because we're outside, we're not in a building. And we'll be able to invite employers in, and they get to see making in action. They get to see potential job candidates there working in action, not sitting in an interview and telling them what they want to hear, but actually see how they work, see how they solve a problem, see how they handle frustration, see how they communicate to each other. And so employers, it's very important for them to get out to the maker movement. And again, the cost for an ad is typically $1,000 to buy an ad. Well, if they gave $500 to a maker space, that's helping the maker space cover a good portion of their rent. And great, Henry, I look forward to working with you. Getting the rent covered, that they'll do everything they can to help that company. So it's important that we break these silos and these buildings and get out and work together. And again, manufacturers are great to criticize. That's what they're known to do. Criticize that the schools don't do anything, but they aren't out in the schools and working with them. And again, yeah, as William says, they aren't seeing that they're working with robots. They aren't seeing that they're working with 3D printers. And they aren't seeing some of these kids and getting them excited about possibly working for them. And the kids move away and they don't even know in their backyard they've got viable career paths that if the companies would just go outside their doors and interact with their kids. So yeah, I mean the schools. That's why the mobile maker space, I think, is going to break down a lot of barriers.
Yes. So both the school side and also our manufacturers side needs to offer to help this version to come to.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. Yeah, absolutely. Because and a lot of schools tell the kids, they send out bad messages. They think factories are really kind of slave labor. They don't really see the value of it. And again, yes, Krista's absolutely right. We're going to get them to make meaningful curriculums and interact with the employers that build the talent that they need. And if they aren't seeing the kids learning how to read blueprints, help them learn how to do it. So again, a lot of these schools will tell the kids, if you don't study, you'll end up working in a factory. Well, It's okay to work in a factory. We need them to be in a factory. We need them. And the jobs aren't dirty, grimy, and nasty and underpaid. Union wages is great. And even a lot of the ones that aren't even union wages, they're great jobs. And they're working in clean, dynamic, and very technologically advanced cultures. And a lot of these
Yeah.
companies are, it's amazing some of the things that they're producing nowadays. And again, if they were able to open their doors more, and again, with COVID, they're not able to bring people in for tours. And so it's a lot of challenges out there. That's why I really can't wait to get out and do these mobile maker spaces. If you want me in your community, reach out to me. I'd be glad to try to help you get one as well. But thanks again. This has been quite a delight. I really have enjoyed this. And if you want to join me on Facebook or LinkedIn, I'm out there and would love to help more people become more makers. We need you out there because again, I'm not going to be around forever, and we need to make sure that more people are lifting other people up.
Okay. Thank you very much, Joe.
Thank you.
I got a lot of inspiration from you, from your wonderful sharing.
Well, my pleasure, and I'm glad that they like the Thorminator.
Now are we ready for sending 3 giveaways for our audiences who can possibly make some great influence on the maker?
So we got people there that can get some? Good.
Yeah, we have. Currently, we have 11 people on live with us. Okay, so guys, so I will start from the first one, and I will ask Joe to pick up the last one. So today we are going to have 3 lucky friends to get our Geeetech PLA filament. So first one, I will start with a simple one. Anyone can get a chance to get it. So which Geeetech product is the lowest price you can get for in the live description for Chinese New Year special deal? Since this live streaming is about the making. Let me show. About sharing this topic about maker movement, and also the we are going to share some of the special deals in Geeetech side. So if any people who are using printers or have any need in printers, you can check out some of the special deals that we have give. So this is also the support for Geeetech. I mean the product. I will test your in the pre-scheduling part we shared. Let me share it again now. The lowest price not just for printer, also filament. You can find which one is the cheapest price that you can get for the Chinese New Year deal. Okay, I'll type it here. So let's see who can respond quickest. Okay, I'll type it here. There is some. So let's change the rules because there is a. It is not a mistake. It is 3.3, but only this deal will start from I think. Let me check. February the 8th, which is starting off for the Chinese New Year deal. Okay, since this one is a little bit, I did not prepare it well, so let's change it. A simple one so everybody can join in. You can type Geeetech 30 is the biggest print in the comment, and let's see who typed it the fastest can get this filament. Yes, still. William is the quickest one. Yes, William is the quickest one. I'm sorry for the a little bit accident here. So, congratulations to William. Will win the first row of filament. So now we still have 2 more giveaway on live. So if anyone is haven't get ready for it now. Let me announce the second one. Okay, the second one is a bit open. Is that please share idea on where or why you can use a roll of filament to enhance the impact of using a 3D printing technology. We will pick the most So imagine that you will get a roll of filament how can you use it to make a great impact in your opinion? So you can share your opinion on this. Like this is actually open, very open for everybody to share your opinion, and we will select the most creative and the most impactful choice to send this filament. Joe, can you help me to draw out a lucky friend on live?
Yeah, I want you because she's sent several questions in. I want Krista Flores from Asheville, North Carolina, who ran her own mobile maker space. I want her to get one of these filaments. And if you got any extras, I've got others I want to give some to. But Krista
yes,
Flores.
for the last one, I will invite you to specific one that you think deserve most that you have seen in the live streaming. But for this question, I would like you to help to select the most possible impactful one for like using one roll of filament. We will have okay.
I sent you Krista's address, so you should have it.
Okay.
Well, fantastic. This has been a lot of fun tonight.
We have Harry saying chemical module, astronomy printing the module out.
Henry, good idea.
And William says making 3D tactical astronomy items for the blind. That's also great.
Wow, now you're going to have some tough choices there.
Oh, actually, William already got one roll of filament, so in the earlier before. So this one we will send it to Harry.
Congratulations. William deserves something too. But,
yes.
All right. Well, this has been a lot of fun. I hope everybody joins me.
Okay, so, and also the last one is that, as I mentioned, I will ask Joel to select specific one person to send out one roll of filament. I will be in touch with Joe later after this live streaming about it. Joe, can you share the reason why you wanted to send this roll of filament to the person that you wanted to send it to?
Well, Krista Flores asked some really good questions. She's been out teaching. She works in a makerspace that actually has been building, been working with various groups, and I'm pretty excited about working with her. So she's out of Asheboro and or Asheville, and so I'd like her to get a roll of filament. And I'd love to see William Finn. He was had some good perspectives on things. I don't know if you can get one to him too, but
yeah. He already. So today we will send one roll for filament to William and Henry, and also one person that you will specify.
Krista Flores. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, that's wonderful. And again, those others that tuned in, thank you again for participating. I hope you share this video once it gets saved to others. And again, go out and, talk to a kid. A lot of people say, I don't mess with anybody. I don't bother them. Bother them. They need you. They need to be provoked. Steel makes steel. You got to bug the heck out of these kids, or they'll do what they're normally would do, which isn't what they need to do, not necessarily. So it's important that we provoke them. It's important that we engage them. It's important that we guide them, because a lot of times they've been fed misinformation. They've been getting information from schools that don't necessarily connect it to their employers. They don't know what's going on in the marketplace. And if they go on what they see on TV, they have no idea as to what's really going on out there. So we need to coach and develop. I mean, it's one of the saddest things that you see in our society is kids make decisions as to what they ought to do, and they don't have adequate information to do it. So the maker pathway can definitely give them some skills and help them solve problems now, and gives them the confidence to be able to solve bigger problems down the road.
Yes.
So thank you again, Geeetech and Springs Owl, and all of my new maker friends that tuned in tonight. And let me know how I can help you further. As I said, I'm not going to be around forever.
Thank you, Joe. And also, we will have, let's have 2 more minutes to finish this live streaming. And I would like to have, guys, if you have anything you want to say to Joe, you can take this last 2 minutes to type some thank you words to Joe for his wonderful sharing on live. And also, I think it's a great mission to help the maker community, to our new generation, to and also have our current makers' knowledge passed on to more people. I think this is a great concept that we can really learn from, and also really it's very impactful for just the normal people like myself, and also maybe you, to get some inspiration from Joe's sharing. I think it's a lot of learning from today's Joe's speaking, and also the what you have done in the maker movement project.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Henry. Henry, I hope you reach out to me. I'd love to. Vancouver's an amazing community. Thank you, William. I really appreciate it. And yeah, you're up in Michigan. I'd love to come up and see you sometime. Hey, thanks, Nam. And yeah, this is, I don't know where Nam's from. And yeah, Sadiq, thank you. And yeah, this is an amazing time to live in. It's really terrible, but it's also fantastic. And 3D printing is definitely a tool that can help transform and transcend some of these issues. And thank you for all you do, Geeetech, and everybody else that supports the maker movement. And let me know how I can help you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Joe, for joining today's live streaming. That's all for today's live. I hope you can stay focused, stay followed with Geeetech, and also more live streaming and more great. If you have any great speaker, or makers in the community who wanted to share their experience on live, you can feel free to contact me. And also, I need more inspiration as well. and yeah, that's anything related to 3D printing will be will influence people, or like practical tips in 3D printing, or just some of like 3D modeling experience, or anything related to the like.
Well, I'm going to connect you, Spring, to the groups that are making prosthetic hands, so that they can talk about all the various applications that they're doing. And there's a young lady in Kathmandu that I want you to meet with, and also Maria Escala out of Baltimore area. They're amazing, absolutely amazing folks out there that are teaching people how to. And in fact, there's an 8-year-old kid that made his own. He doesn't have a hand, but now he's making his own designs. He had an extra his design. He now can catch a baseball better than the normal person can.
Wow. Thank you, Joe.
He 3D printed a hand with 2 thumbs.
Oh, that will be a great topic to have to engage more people. Okay. Thank you very much, Joe. And yes, that's so. Anyone have any good topic related to 3D printing? Welcome to get in touch with me. And also, if you like Geeetech channel, please support us, follow us, and like us on our Geeetech Facebook page. And that's all for today's live streaming. I will see you next time. Bye bye.